In the shadows of the famous old cathedral, there's a new kid on the block, disrupting the established order. After an extraordinary summer, the under-17 side are preparing for the Cricket Paper National Cup final, having taken down plenty of private school powerhouses on the way.
What you get from the private schools is a real sense of togetherness. A lot of their players would have played a lot of school sport together. So what you need to do is be able to match that collective spirit, and I think we've done that really, really well. We've got a very innovative sixth form programme here at the Canterbury Academy where students can actually train daily in a sport that we sort of run different academies for. So we've been able to, I suppose, match that collective spirit. We've been underdogs probably for every game we played in this particular competition, but I think that actually suits us to an extent.
It's certainly been an incredible journey for a school who didn't play any cricket at all until fairly recently, and they don't even own their own pitch.
We were struck about 10 years ago, our children who love cricket were playing some of the local schools here, and the other local schools had all the gear, all the whites, all the bats, all the equipment, and our children were really passionate about the game, but they didn't quite have all of the collective uniform, and we really wanted to make sure that we just gave them the best chance of doing that.
As a group, we really enjoy going to the big schools, seeing what they've got and comparing it to where we are, but I think gives us that extra motivation that they've got all that and then we're still beating them.
I think we laugh about it, to be honest with you, because we turn up in the minibus with these great big facilities, and then we come away victorious, and it's just brilliant to look back on it knowing that we've got one up on them.
And this is a story of inclusion too. The school have regularly fielded 2 girls in their under-17 side this summer. Alexa Stonehouse, who was picked up by the Trent Rockets for this summer's 100, and all-rounder Darcy Carter.
It's a bit more difficult. You've got to prove yourself. Being a girl, it's not as easy as being a boy, but, you know, got to work with it. You've always got to do 10% better than them just to be on their level, I think. But if you want to play men's cricket, boys' cricket, you've got to do it.
The road to the final saw Canterbury Academy see off 4 elite public schools along the way. And it wouldn't come any easier in the final, where they'd meet fee-paying Shrewsbury School, with a 35-over-a-side game taking place on the Loughborough University campus. Ultimately, Canterbury fell short, losing by 23 runs on the Duckworth-Lewis method. Despite their efforts, there are wider concerns about cricket becoming increasingly elite. Over half of England's current Test team finished their education privately, and it's a similar situation for the women's side. And yet less than 10% of the population go to fee-paying schools.
Where England players come from, there has been a real shift over time. The dominance of private schools has gone up, and that's, people talk about scholarships, that is a fact, but it's not only that, there's a lot more going on here. I think the recent England under-19 squad, 18 players, 6 of them were going to private school from as early as 6, so that really does show that it's not just about scholarships, there's a real access to the game issue here.
We've got 1 or 2, 3 or 4 maybe who might go on to play professionally. Maybe those numbers will start to change, and if more people are doing what we're doing, then hopefully it will continue to change. And we've got nothing against, you know, the private school system. There's no reason why we can't all produce top level cricketers.
So, how can English cricket increase and diversify its talent pool? Canterbury Academy may just have provided the blueprint. James Savundra, Sky Sports.